Hello. Welcome. We decided to publish these audio recordings of Amador County meetings because the county will not publish them on the county website for the public to hear and to be informed of the issues. We hope that this information will clarify misrepresentations to the public for the purposes of our appeals through the Board of Supervisors. The proposed project, as approved, would degrade the natural beauty of Amador County, not just in this case, but in many future equipment needs for commercial wireless facilities. This issue was so important that we published a petition request to Amador County officials using change.org and our local Ledger newspaper, asking public servants to protect the natural beauty of Amador County. In this series of videos, we will present audio recordings from our experiences with the Amador Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors, which we believe they acted improperly, unprofessionally, and unsuitable as public servants of Amador County. The first publishing of August 11, 2015 was not our official meeting, but a similar topic that we wanted to participate in to better understand the administrative process for our own upcoming hearing and to see if we could get answers to our confusion as to what the Amador County Code stated and the incongruent actions taken by public officials. This is vitally important, all of these issues, because the Ralph M. Brown Act states, "The people of the state do not yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. The people, in delegating authority, do not give their public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is good for them not to know. The people insist on remaining informed so that they may retain control over the instruments they have created. Please be informed and retain control over our public servants."
Planning Commission meeting for August 11th. Please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
We're here because we just came to understand, or first with the communication wireless section, 1948-150. It's come to our face and been researching quite a bit, and what I've learned is the Telecommunication Act of 1996 authorized rapid deployment of telecommunications. And so I'm learning. I'm on this curve. And in part of this learning, I'm a little confused by the code section that the applicants go by, and then some of the responses to the applicant. Sorry. I breathe deep. So in that, I have some statements and some concerns that there needs to be a comprehensive plan. I mean, we're looking at AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, all of these people coming up and wanting a tower. And our visual quality of Amador County is important to us. If we have these towers, 3 or 4, hey, I have my own. There are 4 different towers all over. You know, how can we, are we organizing these in such a way that maybe Verizon will come to us and say, these are the coverage areas we want, and Sprint will come to us as a planning and say, these are the areas we want, and the planning is able to like put them together and co-locate more, or not have a plethora of inundation of these antennas that don't look like Amador County to me. It's totally contrary to the visible quality of Amador County. When you think of Amador County, you see pines and manzanita and wildlife and deers and lakes and beauty, and then you see these towers. Like one example of the code says that there'll be no towers from highways, visible from highways. So I'm driving down up back home on 16, and there's one in Carbondale sticking way up there, and in the distance I see the one Amador City, and I'm like, shoot, you know, okay. And then I turn around and I'm coming out of Plymouth in this beautiful scenic. I told my daughter when we moved here, I said, that is so beautiful. There's a tower there now. I'm just like...
They're not camouflaged either. None of them.
So our concern is the visible quality of Amador County. What it exactly means to me is if it's native and natural and it's adverse to that, it is not maintaining a visible quality of Amador County. And also, if we can keep them off the main highways and roads, that would be good. Then we get to the neighborhoods and communities.
Drive through the wine country pretty much daily, and they put a nice new tower up, I think it was about a year ago, Shenandoah Road. So when you're down Shenandoah Road after wine country, you got a tower, galvanized thing up there. It's not camouflaged. It's towers are popping up everywhere. I know we're not trying to stop the technology that's happening.
Because everyone likes that on surface.
I want you guys basically to look at it because it's in your code to make sure that the visual Amador County is protected. Right now, we're seeing them pop up everywhere, and it just starts to look like...
Gives us great concern for the visible quality or the quality of Amador County. And so that's where I want to read the stated purpose. The stated purpose is this section provides for an orderly development of wireless service facilities to encourage appropriate locations, protect the character of neighborhoods and communities, reduce the potential for health and safety hazards, and maintain the visual quality of Amador County, especially along highways and roadways. That's the purpose of the code that I read. And when I read that, I'm seeing some issues. And can we tighten it up? Can we especially, okay, so now let's go to protect character of neighborhoods and communities. What does it mean to protect the character of a neighborhood and community? I mean, where I live, I have rolling, undulating hills with deer, mountain lion, bear, coyote, pine, manzanita, all of those things. And then let's say a tower goes up right there. Let's say 8 foot high by 2 foot and 12 of them, and I have to look at them, and every neighbor who drives in and out has to look at that. Is that protecting the character of my neighborhood? So today I was researching some things, and just to add something to maybe that Susan or Chuck haven't heard, just in case, I do a lot of research. But President Clinton actually did a executive mandate opening all federal lands to towers. If that's not known, I don't know. It was news to me. Okay, so anyway, protecting public health and safety is another issue that's in this. Maintaining the visual quality. I'm going to move on. Staff permits and all permits shall be issued provided the application and approval are consistent with subsections F and G. So if we go to F and G, F says the following shall apply to all application for wireless services. It shall apply. So all of the things after that need to be on the application. That's what I'm reading. Because if not, how can an Amador County official make an informed decision if the application requirements aren't there, the pictures aren't there, the testing's not there, etc.? So to me, it's imperative. It may seem permissive if it's not being done, but I'm stating that I believe shall means mandatory, or else they wouldn't even turn in an application, right? Okay. The alternative site and work analysis. This is another thing that's part of a complete application. It says, 1, alternative site and network analysis. As a part of a complete application, the applicant shall submit proof that all alternative sites have been explored and analyzed. The method of analysis shall be reviewed by the planning department staff. The applicant shall provide a map and an analysis of existing facilities and report explaining why co-location is not feasible. There's the map. You guys have it, but I don't see it in files. I don't see it being part of the complete application process.
This is a co-location application. It's not a new tower application. I'm guessing that the requirements are substantially less because the tower's already existing.
How long has that tower been up there?
predates the ordinance. We're not exactly sure. It's one of the...
Tower for Verizon's been there, but
Yeah, it's a phone company tower that they're co-locating on.
They're already on it, and they're just expanding it so they can expand their services.
And I will say that when we see these co-locations regularly, and we're pretty easygoing on them because they're already there. We've had several in the last few months of extending the towers, and
Well, in some cases they had to for emergency services.
Right,
It's been
right.
a requirement.
Yeah,
as far as the state is. I mean, the people that provide, the first responders, are requiring or demanded that, and insisted that certain things get done. So that's why you're seeing now over the last few months we've had a number of these that I'm aware of. There's not been any new towers. They've all been extended. And in your particular, case where you just explained, it should, has other sites been looked at, I for one would rather have them extend and expand what they already have versus put another one across the street. Instead of 2 towers, I like the idea of 1.
I agree.
So that's why we look at, okay, let's use the existing site. The fact that it's co-located, meaning there's multiple service providers on that tower, is a major benefit.
Yes.
So it's not just one organization, but multiple, and then there's the people that it services. And especially in these remote areas, and I don't know if you've traveled up 88 very often, but, you break down out there, it's a hike to get cell service. And if someone doesn't come along and it's the dead of winter, you could be in a world of hurt. So it's just, there's a lot of things going back to the Clinton era. That's the Al Gore, superhighway and everything that came along with that, to include the tax that's on your bill every day to pay for it. It's to improve, the services.
Okay, so then I understand what you're saying, because this is an additional thing. It's not. It's adding to an existing one. You wouldn't need an analysis of existing facilities, is what you're saying.
That's correct.
But there is, that does occur with new ones. Then.
It does. We've had the new ones, and we get that information when they're coming before us. We haven't had a new one in a while. And that was an add-on. That was an ad because I'm not sure what that one is.
That tower was here when I moved here in 20 years ago.
I watched them build it. I don't know.
Where is this located?
Yeah.
It's right.
And
Fiddletown Road.
It's in the city limits.
Okay. So
you know where the
it's in the
vineyards
city
are?
limits.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the county. The county didn't do that. It's not a county project.
So
It
that's
was
a Plymouth
city
project.
limits.
So we didn't have
By the water tank there.
So if I get clarification on a new application, there should be a map of existing facilities, and like in Metro PCS, a court case, Ninth Circuit, says allows for a meaningful comparison of alternative sites. T-Mobile submitted a detailed permit application to the city of Anchorage, and including an analysis of 18 different sites. And the provider has the burden, according to the court, the provider has the burden of showing the lack of available and technologically feasible alternatives. I will be leaving you all of the table of authorities. I have all the court cases.
Later in this discussion was communication as to how the appearance of camouflaged antenna structures can be very unsightly, and how some may blend so well that they may not even be recognizable as a commercial wireless service facility to a passerby. This new information brought up new concerns for how the proposed project will appear when complete if the mandated adverse visible impact was to be mitigated by camouflaging the 50-foot high antenna.
And if you try to camouflage them, I mean, I'm sorry, but those Chinese-looking Christmas trees or whatever they are that they put out there and try to claim it's a cell tower that looks like a tree, that stands out like a sore thumb. I mean,
we required one of those on 16.
I know, not that I like them, but
no, actually, and I it was funny because my wife hates cell towers. And we drove by, she didn't know it was a cell tower until I told her it was a cell tower. So, because to the casual passerby, it actually does.
So they're getting
Well,
better.
some of them do look
No.
ridiculous, sitting out
No,
there
there's
in the
no
middle
question.
of nowhere.
There's
There's
no
a tree
question.
that's 90 feet tall.
No, I've seen ridiculous
along
ones. Or
50,
flagpoles
they're
in the middle of
up
a forest. I've seen those
Along
too.
80, they're all over the place. They're Newcastle, I mean.
So your comments are well taken. We
So we can
appreciate
get it,
your
you can-
concerns.